to the sunny shores of Clearwater Beach. Welcome to the Citizens First American Radio Network, broadcasting out of our tropical bungalow overlooking the beautiful Gulf of Mexico. I am your host and citizen statesman, Steve Redden. Welcome, citizens, to the First American Radio Show. Well, this is where we only talk about solutions of our great country's problems and not just whining about problems. So, as usual, let's get to business. As we picked up from last week, we went over the NATTAX, but this week we were able to get something new and different. And for all you folks that have been out there and have seen this already, it's really cool. It's called the United States Citizens. Let me repeat that. It's called the United States Citizens Tax Bill of Rights, the National Sales Tax Reform System. And if you don't mind, I'm going to take a little bit of time and just read it over to you because it's really cool. It's really fun to listen to. So let's start. To protect the United States citizens from overbearing, overreaching, oppressive and unfair taxation by the government, it's necessary to create the United States Citizens Tax Bill of Rights and to establish the establishment of the National Sales and Transaction Tax, also known as the NATTAX. One tax across the land. The motto shall be fair taxation for fair representation, meaning Americans first. As in 1776, citizens were on the battlefields to create our great nation, not big government or big business. First right. Abolish income taxes, all current tax laws, regulations, inheritance tax, capital gains tax, excise tax, and exercise tax, since we've been taxing the exercisers too much. Tax exemptions, deductions, and Indian and all other current tax or exemptions. And it will forever be prohibited to have a double standard laws for different segments of our economy. For example, right now, for citizens, it's a different set of laws than for businesses. Businesses get to take deductions to zero out their income to nothing. You, as a citizen, can't take deductions, and you have to pay tax on all your income. Sounds unfair or sounds fair? You choose. Well, let me tell you what, you can make a difference today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you how to take action today also. So let me give you the first action step of the day. What you want to do is you go to the internet, www.senate.gov. That's where you want to go. And from there, you'll be able to find a button that'll take you to a directory that'll allow you to directly email or call or give you addresses to your senators to tell them NATTAX now or go home. And for your representatives, it's www.house.gov. And let me repeat that again, www.house.gov. And again, you'll see a link there that will direct you to the addresses, email addresses, and telephones of your representatives. So let's go to the second right. The second right is to abolish the IRS, Internal Revenue Service. There will be no official government agencies for collection of taxes, but taxes will be collected by the private sector through the federal banking system and at no cost to the United States citizens. All taxes will be collected and overseen and managed by the U.S. Treasury. The third right, establishment of one tax across the land for collection of all federal taxes at the lowest possible rate for all segments of the economy. Taxes will be collected on all sales and financial transactions of the United States, again called the NATTAX, of the amount not more than 5% or less. The system works exactly like a state sales tax, but extended across all segments of the economy, including transactions. The fourth right, the 3 to 5% sales and financial transaction rate will establish the debt ceiling for the federal budget. Now it's 3 to 5% because it's never been calculated completely by anyone what the total transactions and sales are of the United States. After 2 years of research, I've estimated $90 trillion. So what we have to do is once we have the exact amount of transactions, we can settle in on a rate, and whatever that rate is, and it's not to ever exceed 5%, we'll establish a debt ceiling for the federal budget, and it'll never exceed that. And by the way, this is a law to be put into as an amendment. This is not just a bill. This is an amendment. Something that's going to, once it's voted in, it's going to take probably an act of God to get it voted out. Any excess, the fourth right, any excess, can't get it out of my mouth, taxes collected will be rebated back to the taxpayers. If the total of the transactions and sales creates an excess tax of more than 4 quarters in a row, financial quarters in a row, the tax rate will be lowered to the budget amount established by the original 3 to 5% ceiling. The fifth right, taxes shall be fair to all segments of the economy. And we will pay the lowest rate possible. This is figured out. You take the total amount of financial transactions and sales, and you divide it by the current federal budget, and that'll give you your percentage. The sixth right, in order for all United States citizens to have equal and fair opportunity to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, the NATTAX will fairly shift money back into the consumer sector to always promote and to always create more jobs and a healthy economy. The seventh right, no taxes will be established to favor any segment of the population or segment of the economy. The eighth right, the NATTAX will provide an economic, let me start again. I'm just reading this straight through this. Eighth right, the NATTAX will provide for an economy without tax evasion, as the illegal businesses, illegal aliens, and unreported income shall also be collected. And the ninth one, this is one you're going to all love. It's called, it's very simple, abolish all tax punishment. In other words, since there theoretically is no laws at all, there should be no punishment or very little of any. For example, in a state where you have a state sales tax versus a state income tax, no one ever goes to jail that I've heard of for not paying their state sales tax when they went up to purchase an item. So you can get a lot of the information about the NATTAX at www.onetaxforall.com, www.onetaxforall.com, and that's where the site is provided to us by eMotion site building software. eMotion site building software. It's a really cool website. So let's go back to the action steps we can take. And think about it. You can do this right now. You can pick up the phone, or you can go and email your senator and governor. You can take and send them the letter saying that it is NATTAX now or go home, and it is www.senate.gov, www.senate.gov, or www.house.gov, www.house.gov. And it is real easy to find. If you just go to search, if you search contact senators or contact representatives, it's very easy to find. Well, we're going to take a real short break here, come back and close, because the next segment of the show, we're going to be talking about more about the NATTAX and tax laws and tax information and items about the taxes you probably didn't know.